From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Ijoma Oyato.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, all set for the first APC National Convention. Delegates converge in Abuja to elect the party's leaders ahead of the 2015 general elections. Lawyers take to the streets of Akure, the Ondo State capital, to protest imposition of bail conditions by the state chief judge. Minister of State for Defense backs federal government strategy on the search for the Chibok girls. And Iraq's most senior Shia cleric urges people to take up arms against Sunni-led insurgents sweeping across towns. And on business news tonight, Central Bank of Nigeria orders banks to refund COT charges above the regulatory maximum to customers within 30 days.
And on sports news tonight, windfall for Nigeria Football Federation as FIFA announces $200 million bonus for member countries.
I'm Gloria Omezoke, and from Abuja, more crisis looms in the Edo State House of Assembly as suspended lawmakers insist on defying a court order barring them from participating in House activities.
We begin in Abuja, the nation's capital, where several delegates of the All Progressive Congress have arrived for the party's national convention, its first since it was formally registered last year. Now, the APC is currently Nigeria's largest opposition party since after the merger of the Action Congress of Nigeria, the All Nigeria People's Party, the Congress for Progressive Change, and a faction of the All Progressive Grand Alliance last year. Tonight's convention is to enable members of the party elect leaders who will run the affairs at the national level after completing the same process at the ward, local government and state levels recently. The convention for the All Progressives Congress is holding at the Eagle Square in Abuja, the nation's capital city. Some delegates believe that the convention will ratify the party's amended constitution and put in place national officers that will pilot the party's affairs in the 2015 general elections. Delegates have expressed desire to accept the outcome of the convention, even if their preferred candidate does not emerge as the party's flag bearer come 2015.
This time around, you have a collection of legacy parties that came together and agreed to harmoniously coexist in order to achieve the greater objective of winning 2015 elections. I don't expect that kind of behavior and rowdiness that had happened in the past.
It will be out of place for them to allow political opportunism and electoral expediency to drown all the good things they have achieved. So I will encourage them to proceed.
Posters of party members, including that of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, dotted the venue of the convention, with their loyalists canvassing for support. Meanwhile, analysts have argued that the convention will be the first major test for the unity of the All Progressives Congress, which is a measure of three political parties. Now, three candidates are believed to be major contenders for the chairmanship position of the party, which is said to have been zoned to the South-South. They are the party's current interim national vice chairman, Tommy Kimi, the former governor of Edo State, Chief Ojige Oyegun, and the former governor of Bayelsa State, Mr. Timipre Silva. Our correspondent Linda Akigwe, who is monitoring the event at the Eagle Square, reports that voting materials, especially ballot boxes, have already been set for delegates to cast their votes.
after weeks of preparations, the All Progressive Congress finally holds its maiden convention here at the Eagle Square in Abuja. Now, over 6,000 delegates from across the 36 states of the Federation have gathered here at the Eagle Square to elect members of the party's National Executive Committee. Now, we hear that the party leadership has already zoned the chairmanship position to the South-South region, but we'll find out if this is true before the end of the convention. We also gathered the party leaders also agreed to zone the position of a Deputy National Secretary and a Deputy National Legal Advisor to the South-South zone also, while the Southwest will produce APC's Deputy National Chairman, National Legal Advisor, and the National Financial Secretary. We spoke to some party leaders on the expectations for this convention.
I think what Nigerians are going to see today is that there is an alternative. There's an alternative party and also an alternative government that can take Nigeria to places, to show that we're ready, to show that we have Nigerians that have come to believe in APC, that this is a party that is serious, a party that is committed to bringing change to this country. That is not all talk, and you'll see today when they turn out.
I don't think there's any crisis. In a situation like this, there are bound to be a lot of people showing interest in one or two occasions, and it has to be resolved amicably so that it does not snowball into a crisis. So what we are witnessing is normal. It's a normal situation. People are meeting, deciding on what's best to do, what they think will be in the best interest of our party.
If you look at the slogan, they say change at the federal. We're going to change everything around, turn everything around for good.
Now, behind me are the ballot boxes where the over 6,000 delegates are expected to cast their votes to elect members of the party's National Executive Committee. From Eagle Square, Abuja, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Away from the APC convention now, all does not seem well in Ondo State Judiciary as legal practitioners today throng the streets of Akure, the state capital, in protest against the decision by the state chief judge to impose bail conditions on them. It was gathered that a circular issued by Justice Olaseyinde Kumuyi states that persons who will stand as sureties for accused persons must produce tax clearance documents dating back 3 years. But the protesters argued that payment of tax is not compulsory for everybody, adding that the right to liberty is one that cannot be removed from the Nigerian constitution.
The chief judge cannot, by circular, remove the rights of citizens of Ondo State that are enshrined in the constitution of this country. And we are sad to what is happening because the chief judge has forgotten the fact that even under the personal income tax, not everybody are compulsorily made to pay tax. We are aware under the personal income tax that pensioners don't pay tax in Nigeria. We are aware under personal income tax that those people whose income are below 50,000 naira are not liable to pay tax. But here we have a circular from the chief judge that said that before you can be a shorty, before any court in Ondo State, you must pay tax. In effect, what he is doing is this. He is saying that those categories of Nigerians that are not liable to pay tax must not be shorty before any court in Ondo State. And we are saying that justice in Ondo State is not a justice for taxpayer. It is a justice for all citizens of Nigeria.
Now, hearing of the suit filed by the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the current emir of Kano, Alhaji Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, challenging his suspension from office has been stalled following an application for adjournment by his lawyers. At the resumed hearing of the suit today in Abuja, the lawyer to the plaintiff, Mr. Kola Awudain, told the court that he needs to consult his client in view of his new position. The lawyer to the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Mike Ozekome, did not oppose the application, prompting the presiding judge, Justice Babatunde Adejumo, to adjourn further hearing of the suit to July the 4th. Well, finally, the new Emir of Kano, who now has the name Muhammadu Sanusi II, has made his way to the palace. This puts an end to the police siege on the palace 6 days after his nomination to succeed the late Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, who died 7 days ago. Now, our correspondent in Kano reports that the half-kilometer drive from the government house to the Emir's palace was smooth and violence-free. The Emir was led to the palace by an armed security team, the state deputy governor, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the members of the State Executive Council, district heads, and other traditional title holders. As anxiety mounts over the fate of the Chibok girls 60 days after their abduction, Nigeria's Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musiliu Obanikoro, says the government is working on several strategies to help rescue them. Senator Obanikoro, who spoke to journalists in Lagos at the passing out ceremony of trainees at the Nigerian Armed Forces Resettlement Center in Lagos, insisted that the government isn't folding its arms as assumed in some quarters. The minister urged the retiring soldiers not to take laws into their hands as they integrate into the larger society.
It's 60 days, and the nation, particularly the families of the missing Chibok schoolgirls, are yet to know their fate. The Islamist sect Boko Haram had long taken responsibility for their abduction. Government, on its part, claims to have adopted several strategies to release the girls, a claim the Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musiliu Obanikoro, repeats here in Lagos.
Let me say that as a father, all hands are on deck to ensure that those girls are brought back. I see the president every day, and I know he's in pain that those girls are out there. All it takes for you to appreciate what the president is going through is to sit back and just switch the role of having your own kids at home and having them out somewhere you don't know what is happening to them. So you can imagine the pain that he is also going through. Having said that, I want to let you know that everything humanly possible is being done to return those girls.
Before speaking with journalists, the defense minister formally bids 402 soldiers goodbye from the tri-service of the military. These men have been trained in over 15 vocations here at the Armed Forces Resettlement Center, Oshodi. This will help them integrate into the society with ease.
Let me quickly warn that you are not expected to take laws into your hands. As you meet the larger society over there, but be of good example and show the discipline in which the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is known for. The government reached out to the private sector for collaboration on the means of improving the lives of retired personnel. Also, the government most recently approved the inclusion of retired personnel in the National Health Insurance Scheme.
And in the case of the unexpected, a fire service now stands in the center to save lives and property. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Now, some indigents of Chibok local government area, Borno State, have refuted claims in some quarters that the girls were not abducted from their schools 60 days ago. At a meeting organized by the campaigners calling for the rescue of the girls in Abuja, they insisted that those doubting the incident should stop playing politics with the issue. Now in part two, after the break, security operatives impound 1 million kilogram haul of cannabis in Oyo State. That's in a moment. You join us again.